Hello and welcome back to the channel, guys. This is the UEFA Champions League, the headquarters of all Champions League news, updates, review, match preview, statistics, and a whole lot. And to add it to everything, at the end of every match preview, we give you the betting odds of each and every betting company as to know which side you want to go for, the unders and the overs that you should go for. If you are new here, please don't forget to subscribe and click on the notification bell icon so that you get notified each and every time we release a new video. Today, we are going to talk everything you need to know about Bayern Munich versus Chelsea. The draw is out. You all know the draw came out. We realized Borussia Dortmund was facing Paris Saint-Germain. Real Madrid will be playing Manchester City, and Atlanta will be playing Valencia. Athletico Madrid, Liverpool, Chelsea, FC Bayern Munich, Olympic Lyon will play Juventus, Tottenham Hotspur will play RB Leipzig, and Napoli will play FC Barcelona. Today we'll be discussing all you need to know about Chelsea versus Bayern Munich. First of all, let's go through how they all qualified. Okay, Bayern Munich was in the Group B with Tottenham Hotspur, Olympiacos, and Real Star Belgrade. Bayern Munich won all their group stage matches. Yes, they got all 18 points out of 18. They are one of the only teams that were able to do that record. We saw their performance against Tottenham Hotspur. Both legs, first leg was really incredible, 7-1 I guess, and the second leg 2-4-1. After Jose Mourinho took over, we thought everything was going to be happening, but it turns out not to be true. And Bayern Munich are very savage when it comes to playing English teams. So we don't actually know what's going to happen against Chelsea. We know Chelsea are a very good start. They have a very good history playing against Bayern Munich. But let's see, this is 2019-2020 edition of the Champions League, and things can go sideways. So let's see. Going on to Chelsea, how they qualified. Chelsea was in a very tough group with Valencia, Ajax, and Lille or Lusk. It turns out everybody thought that Ajax could go through with Valencia or Chelsea, but that's not what actually happened. You saw Valencia topping the group with 11 points, Chelsea with also 11 points, Ajax 10, and Lille also got 1. And the most interesting thing is that this group was decided on the last day of the group stage matches. We realized Chelsea was playing against Lusk and Valencia was playing Ajax, but everybody thought Ajax was going to go through because they were playing home. But it turns out Valencia was really, they were determined to qualify to the rest round of the Champions League. And realize this Champions League have been different from the others because we have all 4 teams qualifying from EPL, we have all 4 teams from La Liga, and a whole lot of teams here. So it's really cool. We saw that all these teams in the round of 16 are teams from the Europe top 5 league. That is the French league, the Bundesliga, the Italian Serie A, the La Liga, and the EPL. We don't have any other team qualifying from any league, that the Belgian league, the Croatian league. All these teams are one of the European 5 best teams here. So we should be looking forward to a very good Champions League round of 16 encounter. Okay, Chelsea didn't make it to the Champions League last season because we know what happened. They didn't qualify, they didn't make to the top 4, but they played the Europa League, and surprisingly, they took the Europa League, going to the finals with Arsenal. They played a very fantastic league, but they couldn't win the Super Cup because they played against Liverpool, who is really on form this season, and we're going to talk about them in a couple of days' time when I upload a video about Liverpool and Athletico Madrid. Let's talk about Bayern Munich. They have won the Champions League 5 times. But more interesting, the last time Bayern Munich won the Champions League was 2012-2013 edition of the Champions League. Good memories. But after that, from 2012-2013, Bayern Munich have never won the Champions League. That is a long way down. So it's really competitive. Chelsea have won the Champions League once. That is 2011-2012 edition of the Champions League. And surprisingly, they played against Bayern Munich. That was the last time they won the Champions League. They played the finals against Bayern Munich at the backstage of Bayern Munich. Chelsea managed to win that competitive, super competitive, very, very historical win. Chelsea got there. We'll be dealing that one very later on, but we realize Chelsea this season have been really good with Lampard in charge. We know they are not allowed to buy players, although the transfer ban have been released. We are looking forward that this transfer window is open in January. They'll go forward and buy players that we know that they are interested in. Wilfried Zaha and a couple of players. Let's see what these players bring to the table for the Chelsea team. Lampard is determined to make a very good name for himself as well as the Chelsea team in January. He don't actually have experience when it comes to Champions League. He has played the Champions League before, but he has never coached or managed a Champions League team. This is his first time around, and he's doing pretty great depending on the group that he was in, and he has managed to qualify, placing second in the group of Valencia and Ajax. We can see that he has actually done well. Okay, Chelsea have scored 35 goals so far at the time I'm recording this video, but they've conceded 28 goals. Yeah, that is not actually good when it talks about statistics. But yeah, this is a very competitive side. They are playing the EPO, which score more goals, one of the leagues that produce more goals at the end of the season. So that's what's gonna happen. You see, their top scorer right now is Tammy Abraham. He has been doing well with William with heading the assist, and Kepa Arrizabalaga, having 20 appearances as I'm recording this video here. They have a good player. They have very youthful players, and Lampard is really doing well, rotating them. You realize not all players in Chelsea get to start each and every game, apart from the goalkeeper, Kepa Arrizabalaga. You realize that Lampard have been rotating most of these players, especially the defense. We know that he have been rotating the defenders as well as the midfielders and the attackers, bringing in Michy Batshuayi, Hudson Odoi, Tammy Abraham, Giroud is there. He has a lot of options, so he's making sure that he doesn't use the same team for a longer period of time. He tries to rotate it, and it's actually working for them. The only problem, Chelsea is very good at playing short passes, possessive football, attempts through ball off him. And the one good thing about Chelsea is that they know how to win 50-50 balls. If you watch them during this EPL and as well as the Champions League, you realize they are very good stealing the ball from the opposition. The only two problems Chelsea is having right now is protecting the lead. They can take the lead in a couple of games, but they find it really difficult protecting the lead. They just take in 1-0 up, and before you realize things go savage. So this is the problem they are facing, and they will be really working towards that. They are very poor in defending a counter attack. So when you are playing Chelsea, they find it difficult defending counter attacks because their centre backs are not very good when it comes to running and attacking. So when they are facing teams like that are very fast in attacking, we have the person of Robert Lewandowski, who is really smart and technical when it comes to scoring goals. It becomes a problem. So this is kind of the side that we are thinking Lampard will improve during this January transfer windows. And if you're new here, please don't forget to subscribe and click on the notification bell icon. This is what we do, everything about Champions League. We discuss the draw, the match preview, and the review as well. And please, if you love betting, this is where you should be, because I'll be giving all the betting odds at the end of the video, and we're going to talk about all the betting odds. And please don't forget to follow us on our various social media handles. I'll leave the link to our Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook page in the description below, so that you can just go and follow it to get an update of the Champions League, the lineup, the history as I'm talking to you. They are not everything that I can lay down here, and most of the news come in the course of the game. I'll be giving you all these tactics in the social media handles, so don't forget to click on the link in the description to our various social media handles at the end of this video. Now, Bayern Munich stands at 46 goals scored and 22 goals conceded, with their poster boy right now, Robert Lewandowski, and Thomas Müller heading the assists. Manuel Neuer is also there. We know his pedigree when it comes to Champions League. Lewandowski has scored more goals than any player in 2019. He scored very huge amount of goals. We saw them play against Tottenham Hotspur. We saw how Lewandowski is very clinical this season. Let's talk of Joshua Kimmich and Benjamin Pavard in the squad. They are very good this season. Thiago Alcantara is good in terms of interception of football. They are playing very good possessive football, just like Chelsea. They have three major problems: stopping opponents from creating chances. When you are playing against Bayern Munich, you realize that you can create a lot of chances, but the problem is how to convert them. And defending against attacks down the wings, they find it difficult defending through the wings, because we realize Joshua Kimmich and Benjamin Pavard are kind of players that like to attack more than to defend. So when they are attacking, they are good, but when it comes to defending, they are very bad. Okay, and area duels, they have problems with area duels, because most of the players just go around defending and attacking at the same time. So when they are being attacked, they find it difficult tracking back to defend. This is the problem that Bayern Munich team is facing. That when you go to the Bundesliga, they are not heading as usual. When it comes to the Bundesliga, we all know that by this time of the year, we know that Bayern Munich will be on top, but it's not happening right now. Things are not going according to plan. They sacked their coach. They brought in a new manager who is trying to make things work, but he's facing a couple of problems, and we are seeing that they can solve it with the nearby future. We can see that when they go to the Champions League goal scoring chart, Lewandowski is heading with 10 points, 10 goals there. That shows how clinical Lewandowski is this season in terms of Champions League. All right, and the first player when it comes to scoring goals for Chelsea and the Champions League is Tammy Abraham with 2 goals, Azpilicueta 2 goals, Jorginho with 2 goals. So these are the goals that they are having right now as compared to Robert Lewandowski's goals of 10. When it comes to the last head-to-head, the last time these teams met has been a long time, but you can see Chelsea winning 2, drawing 0 and Bayern Munich also losing 3. I mean, it's not kind of statistic that you see to play. And according to Go.com, according to All Football, when it comes to rating right now, people are really taking Bayern Munich to take the lead, take the maximum points out of this first leg encounter. But let's not forget the fact that this is Champions League and everything can happen. We should not just write one team off thinking that is exactly what's going to happen. I mean, Champions League things really get messy when it comes to, not to talk about the fact that they are playing the first league at Stamford Bridge. This is where Chelsea is very strong there. So we should, although this season they have not proved that they are very good when it comes to Champions League, but I mean they are very good. This is Chelsea and they can do a lot of things that you're not even expecting them to do. We saw them play against Ajax Amsterdam, a very competitive match. Both legs, Chelsea managed to go to Amsterdam and take the maximum win, but when they were playing at Stamford Bridge, things didn't go according to plan. We saw them playing a very competitive 4-4 scoreline with 2 red cards and 2 penalties coming in. That very controversial one, of course. It got the media out of it. People were talking about. But let's talk a little bit about Chelsea and Bayern Munich. We saw what happened in 2012 Bayern Munich final, the Munich final, that is Champions League 2011-2012 edition. That is where Chelsea won the Champions League. We saw they come into this game, everybody thought Bayern Munich were the upper hand. I mean, looking at how they played, their progressive state, their group in which they were. And even this game, when it actually started, we saw Thomas Müller getting a very nice header, scoring the first goal of the night. And then later there, Drogba equalized with a very nice header. And what made the thing more competitive was that Bayern Munich actually got a penalty in the course of the game due to Drogba's very bad tackle on one of the players, and the penalty was given, but Robin was not able to convert this penalty into goal, and he missed that penalty. That is how come the game ended in a draw and it had to go to penalties. And one thing you didn't actually remember is that the penalties, Chelsea actually missed their first penalty shootout. They played the first penalty and they missed it, giving Bayern Munich the advantage. And Bayern Munich lost their last 2 penalties. Surprisingly, they lost both. Surprisingly, they lost all for the Chelsea team. It was Lampard. So I almost forgot to say about it that when the Champions League draw was out, when Bayern Munich realized they are facing Chelsea once again, they just remembered what happened in the 2011-2012 edition of the Champions League. So they talk about it and they went to Twitter handle and they block a couple of words from their Twitter handle. So if you go to Bayern Munich Twitter handle, there are 2 words that you can't speak, you cannot type in their comment section. One of them is Drogba and the other is UCL Champions League, that is 2011-2012 edition. You can't type those words. They actually block them for people not to speak them in. They just don't want to remember about that day. They don't want to they don't want to have anything to do with what happened in the 2011-2012 edition of the Champions League. So if you go to the official Bayern Munich Twitter handle right now, these 2 words cannot be typed in their comment section. They just want to avoid anything to do with Drogba as well as the 2011-2012 edition of the Champions League. This is to excite their players' mind to know that they can do it irrespective of what happened in the previous edition of the Champions League. Okay, on the screen right now is the betting odds for all the companies. The top companies. You have Bet365 and a whole lot of companies there. You can see the betting odds as it stands now. People are favoring, the betting odds are really favoring Bayern Munich to get the maximum win. But I'm telling you, this Champions League and anything at all can happen. You can just write a team off that they are not performing. This is the Champions League. Surprises do happen, especially in this particular round of the Champions League here. This is where things happen. We saw last season very big teams going out. We saw Juventus and Real Madrid, all these big teams going out of the league last season. So this season is another season. Let's see, how this thing goes. And to be surprised to see the outcome of this game. The draw here, what we have right now. Let's see what the outcome can be. Bayern Munich is very clinical in scoring goals right now, and Chelsea too is very good. Especially when they are playing home. Although this season they have not proved otherwise, as I said earlier on. So in a game like this, I will not be surprised to see both teams to score here. Both teams are going to score, and the goals are going to be over 2.5. That is what I'm thinking, because most of these games Bayern Munich have proven that when they meet English teams, they perform really good. We saw them against Tottenham with both legs, and even in their league, various leagues, they have not been winning all their leagues. But you realize anytime Bayern Munich wins or possesses a lot of football, they end up losing the games. We saw their game against Royal Leverkusen. That's what happened. And this season they have not been good when it comes to possessive football. But they are really clinical when it comes to scoring goals with the help of Lewandowski, Thomas Müller, and we know Philippe Coutinho too have started his real Coutinho stuff, scoring very crucial games in very crucial games when you're expecting him to score. So I'm gonna go for both teams to score and over 2.5. This was my prediction here. I'm not saying that is exactly what is going to happen, but due to the statistics that I'm putting together, I'm sure this thing is likely to drop here. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. If you're new here, as I said, don't subscribe. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you actually think this draw is going to happen. Let me know which team you are supporting and which team you think is going to win the Champions League. This is the UEFA Champions League, the headquarters of all Champions League, signing out.